it's not simple, you know, like people have written encyclopedias on the creative process and shit like that. But like some basic principles to think of is a lot of stuff is iterative. It is like component based. So you have a bunch of little ideas and you kind of put them together or expand on them. Having an idea, what do you want to make? If you like really want to make something, you probably will, you know? So having some idea or some passion for it, you know, like that really, really helps.
Many people, when they are creators, when they're asked a question, usually it's something along the lines of what's your creative process. But I think that it's best to know several different creative processes, like a toolbox, and you can take one out.
Like it's always different for me. Like at first, I was like, I found openers that were really cool, and I expanded on those, and eventually found some kind of nice closer to blend with it. Or other times, I find this specific moment, like I'm just messing around, and I find this one moment that either there's a cool display or a movement that's like really central to the move. So then I expand on that and work on either side.
I actually haven't really created too much, but a lot of like variations or things that I do are usually inspired by my other hobbies like juggling. And so I just like to see how I can relate cards to other activities and make it into something new.
It's different from for each move for me. I would say as far as like packet cuts, which is kind of my favorite uh, thing to create. I always start off with an opener, which I've heard some people don't like doing that, but I've always done that. I want to create something that's interesting in the beginning, and then usually I'll go to a closer, but sometimes I'll find something in the middle. But yeah, I've noticed my creative process tends to be making an opener, then a closer, and then I just open it and close it for like a month or months sometimes, depending on the move. And then eventually I will end up creating something in the middle.
I'm not quite as mathematical as Matthew Bedouin. Forgive me if I pronounced that wrong. But I'm not quite as loose as some people who may just go based off feel. I think there's a lot of credit to both of those.
Like a lot of people, it's just finding an opener and then exploring every avenue until you find something that works. But my favorite moves are always the ones that are not like that because they're so boring. It's just like things moving. I like to think of something that I would like to see in a move and then figure out how I do it.
I don't really have a creative process. A lot of things are just happy accidents, and then I like show someone like, "Oh, check this out," and then over like the next year, I sit on it while trying to figure out something. So,
like I try to think of the coolest thing a Cardist could do in a situation, and then try to figure it out from there. And most of the time, 95% of the time, however many percent of the time, most of the time it doesn't work out. But just putting yourself in that awkward position where you're like trying to do something that's awesome, usually can create either something completely different or sometimes it actually works out.